All right, we're trying a live stream for the first time, so this could go horribly wrong or horribly right. We'll see what happens.
We're totally going to say racist things. It's going to be great.
I mean, possibly. Just waiting to see it shows us go live. All right, we are live.
Yep, it says right there.
Excellent. Let us kick some ass then. So we're here to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling's Power Struggle 2017 card, which we watched last night and really enjoyed.
Indeedly-doo.
So let's kick this pig, shall we, Byron?
Sounds like we might get in trouble from PETA, but I'm down for whatever.
So we opened up with Dave Finlay versus Katsuya Kitamura, and pretty good Young Lions match in a large way.
Yeah, we were saying, and I'm not really sure where the line is per se about when you stop becoming a Young Lion and when you kind of get your roster spot, I guess. But it seems to go that they, at least you emerge from Young Lion stage, you get your kind of your roster spot, and then you get a couple of years to dick around. They see kind of what you've got going on, and then they send you on excursion so that you can kind of discover yourself more and get into a character more, and then you come back and then you kind of have an established spot. Seems to be the way things go. They need to hurry up with Kitamura.
Yeah, because he's in his 30s, so if we really want to bring it in here, it needs to happen relatively soon.
He's only 31, but I mean, I thought he was like 35 or 36.
I didn't think it was that old. I thought it was like 32, 33. But
he's 31. Born on March 13th. That's my mom's birthday. Oh no, that was his debut. Never mind, his debut this year. He's actually born in December.
So he's older than me. So get working on that. This was a solid but not spectacular match, but it got the crowd rolling in the right direction, and these two kind of formed a tag team for World Tag League, with Finlay getting the win with the Prima Nocta.
Indeedly-do. They are kind of in the group of death for the World Tag League, which is starting on the 18th, which we will be covering. We should have one viewer. We have Noob Cakes out there watching. I shared a link.
Nice. Welcome, Noob Cakes.
Diddly-doo, diddly-doo. I keep saying that. That's going to be my thing. That's going to be a motif tonight.
Byron Flanders.
Indeedly. Did I tell you about the Ned Flanders death metal band?
No, you did not.
They're called O'Killy Dokilly. There's one song on YouTube. They've probably got a couple by now, but their first kind of single was called White Wine Spritzer, and it's fucking hilarious.
So we've segued off. Now let's segue back on. We had Young Bucks defeated Dragon Lee and Teton. This was a very good match. A lot of high pace, typical Young Bucks stuff. Not their best match. I mean, obviously they've had better stuff, but considering that Dragon Lee and Teton are apparently relatively new to tagging with each other, this went out without really any hitch. That's pretty impressive.
There was a couple. Well, there's typical Jacksons. Nick Jackson did, I think it was a face buster to Teton while saying in midair, going, "I'm so fucking good," and gave him a face buster, then did a back roll, legs between the ropes onto the apron, and then did a moonsault onto Dragon Lee on the outside. It was like, you can't teach that.
You cannot. And the Bucks get the win with the Indie Taker into a sharpshooter crossface combination.
Indeed.
So,
which they call
Bret Hart, Chris Benoit.
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist, yes.
Hilarious.
Then we had the obligatory massive mess of a tag team match with Juice Robinson, Yushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, Kushida, and Hirai Kawato going over Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, Taka Michinoku, Kanemaru, and El Desperado.
Basically most of Suzuki-gun.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much everyone except for KES, Azuka, and Suzuki himself.
Indeed. I've kind of turned the corner of on Kanemaru. I just thought he was kind of boring before, but he's all about that whiskey, so I'm down with Kanemaru now.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't take much.
Was surprised that they got Taka Michinoku to tap out to the hoverboard lock for this one, but
Yeah, that's a little weird. You'd think that they'd, again, Kanemaru would be the guy to take the fall, or Tai Chi, because, that would make him mad. Michinoku just doesn't kind of fucking care.
Pretty much. This is, the team of high-functioning sociopaths. Kawato with a star-making performance here. If he was not over coming into this match, he is now.
Yeah, he had a pretty big pop coming down to the ring, but then Juice got him to do do at least one dive, and he did some crazy shit. And I mean, that kid, I don't know where the future lies for him, but he's got a lot of sympathy, and he's pretty over right now. Same with Kitamura. Kind of disappointed that Oka, their young lion stablemate there, isn't, like, they don't seem to be giving him as much of an opportunity to get over. They keep sticking him in matches where he doesn't really get to shine, or maybe he's just doesn't quite have it.
It's possible. I really particularly did like Juice Robinson and Kushida trying to hype up Kawada. That was freaking hilarious. Then we had Tenkozy and Togi Makabe defeating Cody Rhodes, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens. This was fine. I enjoyed Cody's playing up the ring and so on. I did like at the end of the match that it was Owens who ate the pin, right. It was Cody was yelling at Chase Owens saying, "The plan was that you kiss the ring and we win." And then he started claiming that Tokyo Pimp's ladies were a distraction.
That's not untrue. Tokyo Latina is very, very distracting. There was one segment in the middle here where it was Owens and Tenzan, I think it was, and they just did not have chemistry. Like, Owens was giving him some chops, and then Tenzan was supposed to come back at him, but didn't do it, kinda, and Owens sort of gave him a quarter turned away. So Tenzan gave him a shot in the shoulder, which Owens then had to try and sell, which was awkward, and then they kind of bumped around a bit, and then they just both went and made tags. I was like, this is not working.
Yeah. I did enjoy Chase Owens mimicking the babyface, though. That was it's pretty,
he was
pretty funny. Plus, he got destroyed for it.
Yeah, he did the machine gun slippy slap chops from Kojima, and he did the Mongolian chops from Tenzan, and I can't remember what he did about Makabe, but he got fucked up for it. Yeah,
I think he did the King Kong thing with.
Makabe. Yeah.
Then we had the Super Tag League or Super Tag Team Tournament final, the Super Junior one, and is Roppongi 3K defeating Super 69.
ACH and the Gooch.
Mm-hmm. A lot of bandages in this match.
Yeah, everybody was kind of fucked up. ACH apparently had separated rib cartilage, which you can't do anything about, and he wrestled anyway. And who was it? Was it Yo or Sho had a shoulder taped up?
Yo had his chest taped up because of blistering from taking chops from Time Bomb.
Right. Yeah. So this was, I didn't get to see any of this Super Junior tag tournament because I think this was all on house shows. Let's see, semifinals. The round took place between the 23rd and the 29th. The semifinals on the October 30th and the finals at Power Struggle. So these were all like on house shows or maybe road to Power Struggle shows that we didn't watch because they're all in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So, your Roppongi 3K went undefeated. They ran the table against all of their opponents, including winning the finals, and therefore are the best in the world.
Pretty much. The team is definitely growing a lot on me after I was admittedly a little disappointed that they made such a big deal about what wound up just being the Tempora Boys.
Yeah.
But they are fantastic workers.
They are indeed. I enjoy their style and their teamwork quite a bit. I was also disappointed because they just grabbed an existing tag team based on Rocky Romero's track history with multiple partners. I expected him to grab two kind of different people and put them together into a team that was going to be awesome. He just kind of grabbed a team that's already awesome, and they have kind of a new persona, and that persona really is, I think, going to get them to the next level.
Indeed. Pretty fantastic match. A lot of good comedy stuff. I remember saying to you during the match, I'm like, when they were doing the baseball coach spot with ACH being the coach, I'm like, wow, I might actually be enjoying this more than Taguchi with Ricochet.
Yeah, there's a lot more comedy to be had with ACH and Taguchi. Ricochet, not a slouch on the comedy aspect, but he's got so many physical talents that I don't think he has a choice. He has to do some ridiculously great wrestling, which doesn't really jive with Taguchi, but it's kind of one of those Toru Yano and Ishii tag teams where there's two really different people that happen to work pretty well together.
I'd agree with that. That's pretty good. Continuing development of the Roppongi 3K guys, which is the goal, because you got these, this new Asian domestic tag team that can work in the super tag team division, which apparently there was some heat backstage about there being too many Gaijin teams. So to get this going I think that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, yeah, you've got the Bucks, and you've got Roppongi Vice, and you've got kind of whoever is in Taguchi Japan that happens to not weigh a whole lot, and they'll do that stuff too. I mean, I think you can put a couple of tag teams together out of that. Bullet Club, you can put together a couple of Bullet Club teams. There's a lot of super juniors that could tag up that don't happen to be don't happen to be Japanese. So yeah, I think not only will this get more Japanese teams to kind of, maybe they'll get some more people to be interested in being a team, and as well as Rocky Romero's stock goes up and up and up.
He's doing a fantastic job as the manager here. He even ate he ate a moonsault, I think, from ACH, did he not, or was it something else?
I believe so, yeah. Somebody definitely fucked him up.
ACH just yelled, "Fuck you, Rocky!" It was pretty good. And
the Bucks came out and they want their titles back.
Yep. So we're gonna get Roppongi 3K versus the Bucks. This was quite possibly the best match of the night. Not by loads, but I think it probably was my favorite.
I don't know. The final two matches of the night, I think, were better, in my opinion.
No, I totally would accept that. Then we had Okada, Ishii, Goto, Yoshihashi, and Gedo, Team Chaos versus LIJ, Tetsuya Naito, Evil, Sanada, Bushi, and Hiromu Takahashi. And we had Team Chaos go over here. This was pretty good. I mean, fast paced, keep some things going. Built up Naito and Okada really effectively, because at one point Naito took Okada outside and slammed him on the ramp to take him out of the match for a while. And so I think it did everything you need to do, and it protected everyone, because Bushi, who kind of doesn't really have much of a storyline right now, eats the pin from Okada.
Yeah, it was fine. I didn't have any issues with this match. I can't really remember, like that. You just said more spots than I can possibly remember from it. It just happened, like, you had a lot of the best workers in the company all in one match for 12 minutes. I expect the thing to be very good, and it was. It's just that kind of everybody did their very good spot, and then we had the end.
Then we had Minoru Suzuki versus Toru Yano bull rope match for the Never Openweight title, and this is the either hit or miss match of the card. I think if you didn't like this, I can understand that, and if you did like this, I can understand that as well. Yeah,
I liked it. Not really sure why they had the giant mugging, because at one point Desperado and Kanemaru came out and stomped the hell out of Toru Yano. They went through like 4 refs, something like that.
3 refs, and Suzuki Gun had interference from Azuka, Tai Chi, Kanemaru, and Desperado. I will say that is my one, unavoidable gripe about this match, is that you have Chaos, who used to be a heel faction and knows how to play the numbers game, and only Goto ever came out to help Yano.
Yeah, that was a bit. I didn't really understand what was going on there.
That's wrestling problem right there. It's more apparent in New Japan, because you have a lot of face stables that you don't have in WWE and ROH and stuff. So it's always a bit annoying when, we end up with the heels playing the numbers game and the faces, despite the fact that they have friends at the back that are well established, don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Kind of dumb faces.
Yeah, I just I didn't understand what the necessity was to do any of that against Toru Yano, because Yano is a comedy guy, and Suzuki is supposed to be your over-the-top, psychotic, evil, twisted genius.
Yeah, he's one of the 3 biggest heels in the company.
Yeah, why? Why do you need 5 guys and 3 ref bumps? Why? I don't get it.
Well, the rep bumps I'm fine with because, frankly, that's Suzuki Gun's MO is we destroy the young boys and the refs.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that, but yeah, just the numbers game I did not care for.
Yeah, it just doesn't... I guess it filled time, but I don't know why they needed it to... Listen, I would have had cut this match down to maybe half its length and then given more time to the Young Bucks match.
There's a couple of matches you could give more time to. Like, there's a couple of not particularly long matches on this card.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a bunch of 10-man and 8, and was it 10-man? There was a 6-man. A couple of 10-man and a 6-man.
Like, tag. I mean, you've got, let's see here, just to run down some time, 5:32 in the opening match, which that's not on pay-per-view, so fine, I get that. But yeah, the Bucks match was under 10 minutes. You had under 10 minutes with the Juice Robinson team versus Suzuki Gun. You had less than 10 minutes for the Old Timers versus Bullet Club. Yeah, so like a lot of these matches could have been beefed up some, and it wouldn't have been a problem. So you didn't need to eat 15 minutes with this match.
No, and quite honestly, I liked the match. It was fun. There's nothing I can say that was bad about it, other than I don't get why you needed the numbers game against the comedy guy. That didn't really make a lot of sense.
It didn't make sense within the larger storyline of the company.
So yeah, it didn't need the amount of time, and it didn't need the numbers game. If you cut down the time, you totally don't need the numbers game. You just have the psychotic guy do psychotic things.
Yeah. There's like tons you can do there. I mean, you're giving Minoru Suzuki a rope that he can legally use. I mean,
yeah. And the story going into the match is that for some reason or other, Suzuki had never pinned Yano for any reason for anything ever. Yano had always beaten him at every turn because he's tricky. So it was going to be one of those. I guess he did it to kind of that kind of storyline leading in. Kind of. That's why they made it a bull rope match. And 2, I guess that's why he got all the extra help to guarantee that he'd win, but I don't know. It didn't quite work for me, but I still liked the match.
Yep, it was okay. Minoru Suzuki retains with the Gotch-style pile driver, of course. Then we had Marty Scurll challenging Will Ospreay for his IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, and as is always the case with Scurll versus Ospreay, Marty Scurll, baby, comes out on top.
Yeah, the story leading into this one, just like the story leading into the last match, is that Marty Scurll always beats Will Ospreay every single time. So it was going to be, is Ospreay, the champion, finally going to defeat Marty Scurll and hold on to his championship? And the answer is, of course, no.
Really good match. A lot slower than you usually get with an Ospreay match. Definitely more at Scurll's pace, but very good, very dynamic, and very good storytelling throughout. And also very brutal. I know Will Ospreay has historically always been, kind of maligned as the overly choreographed flippy guy, and that's why some people don't like him. This is a match for those people that can see that Ospreay can take it a little more seriously and give you a little bit more brutality as well.
Yeah, it really kind of showed a different side, because even Ospreay was starting about a third of the way through the match. Ospreay was starting to do kind of more hardcore, strong style type of performance. It was really good to see, even with Marty Scurll kayfabe breaking his fingers halfway through, which is always a great spot.
There was one spot that I really didn't like. It was Marty Scurll was balancing on the top rope, kind of midsection on the top rope. And if you look closely, you could obviously tell that he was moving his hands and stuff to keep himself balanced so that Ospreay could do like the big shooting star press on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool spot in theory, but in practice, it's not great.
Yeah, well, I'll allow one semi-botch per evening, even though Chase Owens already had two.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's Chase Owens. We expect that from him. But yeah, this is a fantastic match, and then Kushida came out to challenge Skrull everywhere afterwards, but Ospreay like, no, you get to the back of the line. And a very well-prepared Hiromu Takahashi came out.
Wearing a flower print. He put on like a flower print kendo helmet and gloves because he'd been knocked the fuck out the last time he came out, the time before that, and then Skrull broke his fucking fingers the time after that he came to try and challenge for the title.
Also had a giant codpiece on.
Yeah, he did. He had a giant codpiece on. Oh man, that was fucking great. And finally he's like, no, I want to get, God damn it, I want to challenge, God damn it. I'm assuming he said in Japanese. And then they all just beat the shit out of him.
We are getting a 4-way at Wrestle Kingdom between these men, which of course was the story of this pay-per-view, was to set up matches for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm good with that
from
too.
Basically this point onwards. Speaking of setting up matches for Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny Omega defended against Trent Barretta for his IWGP US Heavyweight. Right, this was a fantastic match. This was very, very good. This is the match that sold me that Trent Barretta can be a massive star.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a fan of Trent Barretta beforehand, especially, his work with Roppongi and even Vice, and even before that I was a big Barretta fan. But I was like, is this guy a legitimate heavyweight singles title contender? And the answer I kept coming up with was, I don't know. This match turned that into a yes emphatically. Just a fantastic match. One of the better spots on the card actually was his basement German suplex. That was really good.
The sliding basement German suplex. You had Omega on was it the middle rope?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so he parked Omega sitting on the middle rope facing out into the crowd and hit the ropes, ran across, slid under the bottom rope, reached up, grabbed Omega around the waist, Germaned him on the way through his slide, and then landed on the outside like a pimp. Oh man, that was good.
Yeah, that was freaking amazing. That was the highlight of the match, but there was a ton. Like, Barretta plays an amazing, and we knew this, but Barretta plays an amazing babyface in peril, and lets Kenny Omega come off as like the best heel around. We had a Japanese table in this match.
Yes.
Which, if anyone knows, I am never eating a Japanese table spot.
No. Not unless simulated.
Now, mind you, they did this one better. They didn't try to put Barretta through the table. They suplexed Barretta onto the table and then broke through the table on top of Barretta.
Yeah. So
that's
yeah,
better use.
The thing was face up. Or no, it was face down on the ground and suplexed him onto the metal railing on the bottom side of the table. God damn, that's gotta hurt like a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. I also really like Beretta's interaction with the Young Bucks at ringside because, of course, there's a long-standing rivalry there. Yeah. And it was not forgotten for this match, which, WWE, please pay attention. Don't forget your rivalries.
Long-term storytelling, retards.
Well, in this case, not even long-term storytelling. It's just remembering what the shit you did.
Yeah.
Fantastic matchup. Eventually, Kenny hits the one-winged angel, gets the win.
Yeah, I don't know if this was a 5-star match, but I would not be shocked at all to see that score come up.
On the site I have here, it's 4 1/4, which I would have given it higher.
Yeah, I would say that's at least a 4.5, but I would not be shocked if it got 5.
Then we had Kenny Omega cut a promo about, this is the time of the show when someone comes out here and challenges me. Anyone? And they took their time, got Omega to the point where he goes, goodbye and good night, and then the Titantron comes alive, or whatever they want to call the big screen.
They're going to get sued. Don't call it Titantron.
And we get a countdown from 5, and it's Chris Jericho, and ladies and gentlemen, Winnipeg is taking over.
Winnipeg Mafia OP.
So basically, yeah, Jericho calls out Omega for a match at Tokyo Dome. That he is the alpha to Kenny's Omega. And to be the best in the world, he's going to have to prove it.
Yeah, there was a loud Y2J chant. Very loud. To put that in perspective, Japanese, if people aren't familiar with Japanese wrestling crowds, they don't really get loud unless there's, like, you're the ultimate babyface fan favorite, like with Tanahashi in the main event coming up. They go nuts for Tanahashi. They go crazy. But Jericho hadn't wrestled in Japan for like 14 years. Longer?
Unless he wrestled at some point for WWE in Japan. The answer is at least 14 years.
And yeah, and that was during the beginning of his career. So to have
he did a couple of WCW matches in Japan as well.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yes, they did a couple of shows.
Anyway, there was a very loud and persistent Y2J chant, which is amazing. The fact that could happen.
Well, this is a huge deal.
Apparently the word now is that Jericho did not give anybody at WWE a heads up. He just went and did it. Well, he's not under contract, so he can do whatever he wants. But one would think that you'd at least talk with Vince and say, hey, listen, this is a thing that I really want to do, so I'm going to go do it. Just a heads up.
Well, they kind of messed up his cruise thing with his entertainment cruise, where he's music and comedy and wrestling all kind of on a boat, and they wouldn't let him have NXT talent for it. After the story, at least from one source, is that they had agreed to send him the talent, and then it was rescinded by Vince, and that's why he kind of said, "Well, you want to play it like that?
Well,
here's how I play."
I'm hearing it was Triple H, not Vince.
I think the story was Triple H had originally given it, but then Triple H delivered back to him after talking to Vince that it was not going to be possible.
Yeah,
that is the story I had heard. Although this is all hearsay, of course.
Yeah, well, he's also already booked a lot of ROH talent on the show, so they, I guess, don't want to intermingle with the competition.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that is the part that is not in doubt, is that he has been told no, NXT talent will not be working the cruise. That part we have. Who specifically told him, who he specifically has heat with, that's a little bit more up for grabs. Then we had the main event of the evening, IWGP Intercontinental Champion Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kota Ibushi. And
goddamn,
this was pretty freaking awesome, which, I mean, it's pretty much a given. I mean, we're talking Tanahashi and Ibushi here, two of the, I would say, top 10 workers in the business right now.
I would
if
not
not
disagree.
top 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's power rankings. Run down the list to totally steal from Steven Larson. Number 1 and 2, or 1A and 1B, you got Omega and Okada, Ibushi, Tanahashi, who else? Styles.
AJ Styles, yeah. Sami Zayn. When he's allowed to do his thing.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, when they're allowed to do things that they're allowed to, that are actual pro wrestling centric instead of WWE dance around a circle.
I would say the Briscoes belong on there, not as singles, but as a tag team.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say most of the top talent in the world still resides. There's Nakamura, but I haven't seen an actual Nakamura match in a long time, so,
Nakamura, to me, is kind of a little hit and miss. And I've always said this, even when he came to WWE, and even when he was in New Japan, he needs the right opponent.
Yeah.
The guys we just listed, I think, can get a 3.5-star match out of a broomstick. It doesn't matter who they're wrestling.
A matter of fact, I think Omega did get a 3.5-star match with the blow-up
doll. So, there you go. Whereas Nakamura, his best matches are all of them, their best matches are against other top talent. But Nakamura, you remember all these great matches he had with top talent, like AJ Styles, for example.
Yeah.
But then anytime he kind of dove below that, it's kind of forgettable.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, if anybody wants to track down Nakamura versus AJ Styles at Wrestle Kingdom 9, I think it
I
was.
believe it was 9, yes.
And holy shit. Goddamn, son, that was a thing and a half.
Nakamura, I guess what I'm saying is Nakamura's he's kind of the Triple H of New Japan if you go with the power rankings of the Attitude Era. Yeah. Where like Triple H, you didn't necessarily care about Triple H. Like when he worked with The Rock, it was great. When he worked with Austin, it was great. When he worked with Jericho, it was pretty good. But if you stepped below that level with him, it became hard. Whereas The Rock and Austin would transition down well.
Triple H with Booker T, and he starts saying stuff about you people don't win titles, and they're like, ooh, I don't think you can say that.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of where Nakamura fits in the New Japan hierarchy when he was there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't
a guy who could give you an absolutely great match, but if you put him in there with the wrong guy, it's kind of forgettable.
Yeah, I would, if I was to draw my own parallel for Nakamura in New Japan, I would say he's more like The Rock, where he has all of the personality in the world and is over as fuck, but his matches are usually the same. Nakamura's matches are not usually the same, and is, I would say, 10 times the worker The Rock ever was, but it's sort of a similar parallel when you're holding him up against other talent in that particular... Oh, we totally forgot Naito off the list. How dare you, sir?
Naito to me is more of a character than necessarily the in-ring talent. Don't get me wrong, still probably top 10, but I don't really put him with that list.
I think I think he can wrestle a lot more or a lot better than... I think he actually downplays his ability due to the character. Which
I remember him from before the character though, and I still wouldn't put him on the level with the Okadas and stuff.
So racist.
How is that racist?
I don't know, but I'll figure it
out. Anyways, for this match, Tanahashi was working Ibushi's leg a lot, which was good, and Ibushi was great at selling, that fact.
Mm-hmm.
And
this was one you've heard me bitch a ton of times before about matches being crippled from their full potential because somebody gets an injury early in the match, and I'm using air quotes, and then they have to sell that injury the entire match, and it brings the match down so much. That didn't happen here. He got a quote knee injury early in the match, and yes, it was a storytelling device throughout the entire thing, but it did not hamper the match at all. I enjoyed it a great deal. Also, the deadlift German up over the rope spot is never going to get old.
No, never. One botch on a Rana between these two, but you know what? I'm willing to overlook a botch for the sake of a really amazing match, which Tanahashi wins with the Dragon Suplex and then double high fly flow, hits one to the back of Ibushi and then to the front of Ibushi and pins him.
Indeedly do. I enjoyed that immensely. This was the best pay-per-view of October. Only it was in November.
Tanahashi puts Ibushi over big after the match. Ibushi's already a star, but this heightens his profile to new heights.
This pretty much solidifies him as the number 5 or 6 guy in Japan. Period.
Mm-hmm. And then we had an air guitar solo, and then we had Switchblade.
Kawada threw that guitar kind of high.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of hops on that kid.
Indeed. We got Switchblade. Jay White came out. They ran through the promo package they had for him, and he challenged Tanahashi for an IC title match at Wrestle Kingdom. And he eventually attacked Tanahashi during their face-off and left him laying. And,
give him the frat runner.
Yeah. And, this has apparently been building for a while, because apparently they've had Jay White alluding to wanting to face Tanahashi in interviews throughout his entire excursion. So,
I vaguely remember one kind of indecipherable weird promo that had something to do with what's that what's that guy? The fucking character from the Saw movies?
Jigsaw?
Jigsaw, yeah. I thought it was supposed to be... I was left with the impression that the name of the character was supposed to be Jigsaw. I'm like, but that's already a guy who exists. Also a movie character. No, I mean, there's a wrestler with the name Jigsaw.
One of Mike Quackbush's main tag partners.
Yeah, I was kind of confused. And that was probably 6 months ago. And I'd totally forgotten it until you kind of... Like, they ran the promo for this, and you're like, oh, they've been running promos, and I fucking didn't remember any of it until probably just now.
Indeed. So... Excuse me, gotta sneeze. Okay.
Gross.
It was a pretty big one, too. So, yeah.
Trucks everywhere.
The angle came off a little bit weird. I don't think the crowd really knew how to react to it because Jay White has been on New Japan TV not that long ago as a face. So for him to be kind of very heelish here and not speaking into a microphone was another interesting point of this.
Yeah.
I think maybe left them kind of befuddled.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not as... You're really high on Jay White because you've seen a lot more of him than I have. I've seen him in a couple of multi-man matches, and he was literally an wrestler. He was a guy that was definitely in the match, and that's as far as I'm going to say anything about him. Apparently, he's really good? Question mark?
I think it'll be a fantastic match. I just think could have been better done with the angle.
Yeah.
And that's it for the show. And do we want to talk about Tag League real quick?
Yeah, we'd probably do that.
So we got G1 Tag League coming up in about a week. A little over a week. It'll be 2 weekends from now.
Yeah.
And we have Block A. It's going to be Bullet Club team of Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens. LIJ's Evil and Sonata, who are my pick to win Block A. Hangman Page and Tokyo Pimp, also representing Bullet Club. Chaos team of Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. Tenkozy, Juice Robinson, and a debuting Sami Callihan.
Woo!
Really interesting tag team there. I just wouldn't have really thought to pair Callihan with Juice.
That is, well, you know what? Maybe not, because when the Juice gets loose, he's approaching Sami Callihan craziness levels.
We will also have Nakanishi and Nagata, which is they're kind of they'll be the job tag team.
Yeah,
and Minoru Suzuki and Takeshi Iizuka will be Block A.
That's a lot of crazy.
And then Block B, which is the freaking tournament of death.
So why do they... oh, no, never mind. I was going to say, why do they have two Bullet Club teams in one pool and not in the other? But they do have a Bullet Club team in the other pool.
GOD. Yeah, they got Trent Beretta and Chucky T, a.k.a. Chucky Taylor. This will be his debut in New Japan. KES, the Killer Elite Squad. Dave Finlay and Kitamura, as announced during Power Struggle. Hanson and Rose, so we got War Machine and KES and GOD in the same block. And it gets worse because we have Hanare and Togi Makabe. Hanare is the other young lion I've been really high on. And Jeff Cobb and Michael Elgin.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's the thing right there. This is Jeff Cobb's debut.
And then you have the team that's going to win the whole block, which is Ishii,
Tomohiro Ishii, and Toru Yano.
They are the best.
I don't know who's going to win Block B. Like there are.
That's a killer.
It won't be. It won't be the Great Bash Heels. Would be. I would throw that out there.
I would be shocked.
Although it should be mentioned, of course, Makabe has won G1 League. I think the last 2 years with. So
that is correct.
He could potentially win it with Hanare.
I don't think he's going to go that far with a rookie. I think your top of the pool finishers were going to probably be War Machine and Guerrillas of Destiny, Killer Elite Squad, and Ishii and Yano. I don't think anybody making a debut is going to make much noise. That's pretty much where I'm at. And I don't think Makabe teamed with a rookie is going to do much. I don't think Kitamura teamed with Finlay is going to do much, although they'll put on some good matches. So that's sort of where I'm at. But I do think that somehow or other, Yano's going to steal the whole fucking thing.
It's possible. Toru Yano and Ishii have always been a spoiler tag team. So that's what we got for this round of stuff. We'll be back with the WWE recap later this week. And gonna watch some TNA Impact or Impact Wrestling. See how that goes. We like Bound for Glory, so we'll check it out.
Yeah, it was not too bad.
Yeah. And that's about it.
Apparently, Mr. Yimmy Jacobs is now a producer there, so he's going to be producing.
I had heard that, yes.
He will be a de facto producer for the next small round of tapings, at least. Another week of tapings.
Which means they'll probably be awesome.
Which they are going to do in Ottawa. And apparently, they're hiring paid actors to be audience members.
I know. I'm very tempted to send a resume in. Like,
do it.
Will you pay me to go to your wrestling show?
They will. They will do that. They will pay you $50 a day, apparently.
That is the case. So, I am very down for this. So, that's all we got for this round of stuff. And, check out G1 Tag League. I think it's going to be freaking fantastic, especially Group B.
Yes.
And we're getting close to Wrestle Kingdom. Only 2 months away.
I am excited. Is it wrong that I'm way more excited for Wrestle Kingdom than I am anything else WWE does?
That's not remotely wrong.
Because
we've been through this. Like we've been a while since we found a WWE pay-per-view that we weren't left going, I mean, we like some things on it, but on the whole, nah, not really.
Well, they always fuck up the main event. They're like, oh, we need this to happen in the main event so that we can have some sort of something that we can completely forget about in 2 weeks. Or they'll put Roman Reigns over again.
Yeah, I heard an interesting theory on the Roman Reigns deal, which was that is just the theory that you can't pick a guy.
Yeah.
And they were going through like the Stone Cold Steve Austin's, Rocks, John Cena, etc. None of them were the pick guy. Not even Hulk Hogan. Hogan got over in the AWA. John Cena got over with the rapper gimmick. Rock was the chosen guy, and it failed. And then he went and did the Nation of Domination, got over, and became the guy. And of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin famously was told by Vince McMahon, or Vince Russo was famously told by Vince McMahon, Stone Cold Steve, or the ringmaster, is not to ever speak on the microphone.
Oh God!
So there you go. That's where he thought Stone Cold was going.
Jesus, Russo. Can we have just a Russo won a pole match and then nobody?
No, it was Vince McMahon telling Vince Russo that.
Oh well, Vince McMahon. As we've established, Vince McMahon's very new to the wrestling game and doesn't really know a whole lot, so it can be excused, right?
He really thought he had just a mechanic there for the mid-card, but
oh boy.
Yeah, the thought was we put him with Ted DiBiase so Ted can do the talking for him. Yes, because Stone Cold Steve Austin needs a mouthpiece. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is this is the first time that Vince McMahon has been trying to make a guy he picked who was not over beforehand, not as a single. Reigns was over in the Shield, but not as a single. And tried to push him to the moon, and it's not working.
Not at all.
And if you want proof of this, check out the crowd reaction on This Week on Raw for Finn Balor versus Joe, as opposed to what we get with Roman Reigns.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
So that is all, and until next time, get off Byron's lawn. You're killing the grass.
At least fucking fertilize.
Yeah, put some fertilizer out there, get some water. I mean, there's going to be some snow coming, so maybe you can snow-proof his trees a little bit. And we'll talk to you next time, probably about Raw, or if we have a debate topic.
Get out.